Global warming. Hello, I'm Laura DeRoba and I'm a biology major. I picked this issue because it affects everyone around the world and is getting more extreme each day. Although politicians have a lot to say about global warming, they have not done much to stop it. I hope this presentation will provide information and encourage the US government to take action on this issue. According to NASA, the world temperature has risen 1.1 degrees Celsius since the Industrial Revolution. In the same time, our carbon dioxide emissions have gone up 420 parts per million, and our methane emissions have gone up 1,923.6 parts per billion. The majority of these emissions come from human activities such as transportation, creating electricity, industrial production and shipping, commercial and residential aspects such as heating, and agriculture. The rise in global temperature is concerning because the Earth is a delicate system that can only function within a certain range of temperatures. As you can see, so far the ocean has already risen 4 inches since 1993, and ice sheets have gone down 424 billion metric tons per year. These changes will affect coastal areas as well as ocean ecosystems. Another important aspect of climate change is pollution. Pollution contributes to greenhouse gas emissions such as carbon dioxide and methane. Pollution also kills people around the world at an alarming rate. The lack of clean water, air, and arable soil causes health problems, poisoning, and starvation. As you can see from this map, water pollution is a serious problem all around the world. Many countries are losing their drinking water sources due to polluted rivers, lakes, and streams. Not only is pollution the root cause of the climate crisis, but it is also killing thousands of people each year. By tackling pollution, we will also be helping to offset the problems of climate change by fixing the resources that we still have before they are destroyed by the climate crisis. Climate change will affect everyone. Even the people who are lucky enough to not have faced this issue yet will eventually face extreme heat, food shortages, or a lack of clean air and water. This problem will also affect the economy because many jobs will be lost. America also has some legal responsibility to stop climate change. In 2021, we rejoined the Paris Agreement. As a member of this agreement, the U.S. is now required to reduce the climate emissions in order to reach the agreement's goal to stay well below 2 degrees Celsius above the temperatures before industry. In this agreement, the U.S. is supposed to work with other country leaders to stop climate catastrophe. One of the other members of the Paris Agreement is China. Since China and the U.S. have the highest carbon emissions of all countries, it is our legal responsibility to work together to meet the Paris Agreement goals. One way the U.S. can help to fix climate change is to send more ambassadors over to China and encourage Chinese ambassadors to come to America. By visiting each other, China and the U.S. will be able to exchange ideas to decrease emissions and create renewable energy. We should also encourage both Chinese and American students to study abroad. These students will be able to learn from experts, and China and the U.S. will be able to share information. For example, American students can learn about China's solar panels, which is an industry that China dominates, and bring that information and technology back to American solar companies so they can improve their product. On the other hand, Chinese students can learn more sustainable agriculture practices from American experts. Not only will sharing information and ideas help the environment and reduce greenhouse gases, but it will also build trust between the U.S. and China. After solving one of the world's biggest threats together, the U.S. and China can treat each other like partners and improve the current negative trend in the U.S.-China relationship. Another possible solution that should be implemented, especially if China doesn't agree to work together, is to call for a climate emergency. If the U.S. calls for a climate emergency, they can halt oil and coal production and use military money to fund renewable energy products. Once they stop a climate emergency, the U.S. will stop sending oil and natural gas to China, which is critical to their industry and economy. This pressure will cause China to put more emphasis on the climate crisis and reducing greenhouse gases. The combined efforts of China and the U.S. in the climate crisis will impact the world greatly because the U.S. and China are the main emitters of greenhouse gases. After this plan is put in motion, the U.S. should put an importation ban on products that do not meet our standards regarding greenhouse gas emissions. In conclusion, climate change is a very serious issue. Not only are people dying from polluted water and air, they are also dying from the increasing temperature caused by greenhouse gas emissions. By working with China to meet the Paris Agreement goals, we will encourage the rest of the world to work together towards renewable energy and zero emissions. If China and the U.S. work together, they can create economic pressure for other countries by placing importation bans and tariffs on their products. Since China and the U.S. are big players in the world's economy, their combined efforts will make a big difference. Thank you for watching my presentation.